I don't have the words. The words escape me, Kwab.
Yo,
What is going on?
every
What voodoo doctor have they seen? You tell me, right? Tyrese, you tell me right now. This is insane.
they might be the team of destiny. It just comes down to it.
Divine intervention? I am not a religious man. I'll just be sure. But I don't know.
You might have to start being. Like you've seen,
The Pacers might make me a believer. This is absolutely insane. Kwab, let's get to the box score. The Pacers beat the Thunder 111-110. Pascal Siakam 19-10. Miles Turner 15-9. Tyrese with 14-10-6. And the game winner, SGA 38-5. Jalen Williams 17-6. Lou Dort with 15 points. Kwab also on top of that. I kind of want to read these stats. We usually don't do team stats, but 24-6 turnovers. The Pacers had 24 turnovers to the 6 turnovers.
the Pacers won with 24 turnovers and only being up for like 30 seconds.
Not just that. The Oklahoma City Thunder took 98 shots and the Pacers took 82. So they also got 16 more shots than the Indiana Pacers.
The math is not mathing.
You know what massing though?
What's
18
the
three-pointers to 11 three-pointers.
Woo!
And the three-point
And there
ball
it is.
once again brought them back in the fourth quarter. This was a game where it looked like for, again, 3.5 quarters, 3 3/4 quarters that the Thunder were the better team. I mean, just unequivocally the better team. Defensively, again, turning the ball over 24 times, perimeter defense, being able to switch everything. The Pacers didn't have anybody to hunt. You know, they tried the same actions they tried against the Knicks. Nothing was really working. The pick and roll with Miles Turner and Nembhard started working in the fourth. But before that, just could not penetrate, could not get into the paint, turning the ball over, just didn't have good offensive process. Every time they got a rebound and try to, go on a fast break, sometimes the Thunder would just steal it right off the bat, right off the rebound. It just looked like the Thunder were overwhelming them. And the Pacers they just don't give up. I don't know what this
Ever.
is. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Neesmith with a 3 in the fourth. Obi Toppin had 5 threes after a horrendous start. It's one of those things where it's like, if I'm going to break down the game from an X's and O's standpoint, I think about the Thunder's defense and how they were switching everything on the perimeter and how they were up helping, on every screen or whatever. Tyrese Haliburton, they would trap him sometimes, but the person who would come out was able to stay with them because they're just great defenders. How the weak side help would cheat up a little bit so that Tyrese couldn't get into the paint. Just the defensive game plan was just impeccable. And somehow, some way, the Pacers just found a way to win this game. I cannot for the life of me make sense of this. Can you make sense of this?
I mean, it was like it was looking like it was going to be a Thunder victory, but those Indiana boys, they don't ever give up. I mean, to your point, the defense that Thunder were showing, that they've shown all playoffs, it was evident throughout the whole course of the game. In comparison, it felt like the Thunder were putting out like 5 Aaron Neesmiths, like in terms of like the two-way capabilities. Like Caruso was hitting shots, getting steals. Cason Wallace was making an impact on the defensive side. Like I can go down a list in the box score. Like Isaiah Joe had some moments. Wiggins, even AJ Mitchell played a little bit.
AJ Mitchell got burned, bro.
He got to be in the game, and it was just like anything they were throwing out there, it looked like it was working. But we've said this before. The Pacers feel like the team that's like, oh, we're down 17. Oh, we have you right where we want you.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's
and on a game, too, where SGA was actually, SGA, again, 38 points, 14 of 30 field goal attempts. So he was almost 50%, essentially. So he wasn't struggling. He had free throws down the stretch. It wasn't like the Thunder gotten completely cold. The Pacers just got hot from 3. Again,
I mean, this is what the Pacers do. I mean, all the Pacers fans that have been in the comments will be like, yeah, this is what they do in terms of their 3-point shooting.
they won't die.
Grading.
They won't die. They just won't die.
What was crazy when I was watching the first quarter, even the first half, and then Tyrese Haliburton, I think, was mic'd up, and he actually said the same thing. I was thinking, I'm like, the Pacers need to slow down. It felt like they were playing too fast at certain points, and I'm like, there are a team that plays fast in general, but it felt like they were just playing way too fast. But even with the 24, I forget how a 20-point lead, whatever it was, you could tell they were never out of the game throughout the course of the game. Like the Thunder would go up and they would hit enough shots to just keep it like in a 10 point, 8-point range continuously. Yeah. And I was like, when I was watching the game, I'm like, are they setting it up for another classic? And
it's unbelievable.
This playoff run has been amazing. The playoffs in general have been amazing. But
they had 18 turnovers at halftime and were only down 9 points.
That's crazy.
I think they were down 9. I think that's what it was. Correct me in the comments if I was wrong. But 6 turnovers in the second half, and most of those 6 actually came on early in the third quarter. I think half of them did. So they stopped turning the ball over. You see what happens when you stop turning the ball over? They had one terrible turnover on the inbounds pass that led to a Jalen Williams dunk.
I mean, look, I was gonna say I just remember. Sorry to cut you off. There was a point where like Miles Turner hit back-to-back threes. One of them was like a bank. I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand.
God is looking down on the Indiana Pacers.
I see what's going on. I see what's going on with y'all.
This is crazy. It's like beyond comprehension, man. Like, again, we're doing another Pacers game where I had notes where it's like, OKC did this on defense, yeah. And like, throw it away. Like, they're not even going to talk about any of that. In a game where they were completely outplayed for most of the game, like, they get a W. And now the Thunder, again, I said this when they beat the Knicks in the same way in game 1. Now you got to beat them 5 times in the series.
I mean, there was you made the point when we did our preview. You're like, you see this going 7. We feel like it's going to be a long series. A lot of people were like, "Oh, the OKC's going to blow them out." But
they don't
some people I remember some people in the comments made a statement. It's like, "Oh, we're so used to watching East teams because we're Knicks fans." I am not a Knicks fan, by the way. Just throw that out. I'm not a Knicks fan, but we've been watching both teams very closely, and we understand these Pacers just don't die. They're the freaking zombies, and they just keep going. And like.
They're like a cartoon, like you chop off the head, then they have like a regenerative head that just like
and it just comes back to just
it's absolutely insane. There's just there's no other words. We are seeing a team that just will not die. They won't die.
And I think that maybe that's been a problem for them because they know they can win. They can come back and win so many games.
What problem, Kwab? They're 1-0 in the NBA Finals.
No, because of that, they're so comfortable starting off slow in games. Like they're comfortable being because in your mind you're like, we're still gonna come from behind and we're gonna win. There have been many games rewatched where like they don't look like the Pacers team we're used to. That will just run and gun and like get stops. But in your minds, you're like, hey, it doesn't matter if we're up 15, down 15. We know we still have a chance.
I mean, I'll say this about them. I thought they played good defense today. I mean, SGA got his for sure. But, for a team to turn the ball over that much and still play as good as transition defense as you could possibly play in those situations, I think that's what kept them in the game, right? Like, you had all these turnovers in the first half, but you didn't let the lead balloon to 15, 20, 25. You were able to keep yourself within striking distance. So if you stop turning the ball over, you can just do what you just did. And that's exactly what just happened. Jalen Williams had a bad night. I thought Isaiah Hartenstein didn't really play that well. Chet didn't really seem to have his input on the game. I
agree. Yep.
Outside of SGA, no one really got going. Dort got hot from 3 a little bit for a short time there. But, like, there was the offense from the Oklahoma City Thunder, and this is what we said in the preview, too. Like, it's a good offense. It can be good, but it's not great. And you kind of saw it today where it's just kind of like, I thought, for the most part, too, even with that said, I thought they were getting better shots all game than the Pacers.
Yeah,
even though the Pacers were playing better. And you still lose that game. Like, it's one of those things, man. It's just, it defies all logic. I can talk all I want about, defensive scheme and the Oklahoma City switchability on the perimeter and how much trouble that gives the Indiana Pacers and how the Pacers offense seemed to seem like it struggled. And then at the end of the day, it's like, well, they still won the freaking game. Like, what we should be talking about right now is like, what can the Pacers do next game to counteract and it's just like, that's not what we're going to be talking about.
No, it's like, what can the Thunder bounce back from that? That's what we're talking about now.
Yeah,
and I think we got to give a lot of credit. We gotta give a lot of credit to the Pacers bench and quote unquote role players.
Yeah, Obi 5 threes after Obi could shout out to Obi Toppin because he could have easily packed it in. He had horrible turnovers to start the game.
Yep.
And he could have packed it in and said, "This is not my night." Carlisle could have just took him out and said, "This is not his night." 5 threes. Obi.
5 threes.
Unbelievable.
Like
TJ McConnell. Jinx.
TJ McConnell. Yep. TJ McConnell again being TJ McConnell. Like Yeah, I mean, just being a pest, but also like he was getting paint touches, kicking out the ball, hitting his shots.
He was the only one consistently getting into the paint, really.
Yeah, yeah, which was like
Nemhard did a good job today
yeah,
too, doing that as well.
yeah, and Nemhard hit big shots at the end of the
Yeah.
game. Thomas Bryant like made an impact too. Like it's just they we both these teams like feel like essentially deep college teams that we're watching that
Yeah.
go on your bench and they're just productivity from so many players. Look, like you said,
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Like it's another game review where it's just kind of like throw the analytics or whatever out of the window and just be in awe of what the Pacers are doing.
yeah, that's why we have to stop taking notes throughout the course of the game. We just have to stop and wait till it ends. Like we can't take notes. But like, oh well, first it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, the Pacers kept it close and they won because they're the team of destiny. Like yeah, like it's just every game, and it's like we're gonna look back at these playoffs and just be in awe of some of these performances.
Oh,
like,
whether they win or lose.
yeah, hands down. Like
yeah.
and to me, and I was gonna say too, to me, Tyrese Haliburton didn't have that good of a game. Like it was a solid game by him, and I thought in the second half he started being more aggressive.
Yeah.
Which was very important. Like it started being more aggressive. But again, he just you know what I mean, hey, tie game, down game, close game. It's like, hey, I got it. I got y'all. Clutch. They're gonna have to
clutch.
unbelievably like
clutch.
he should have been the real clutch player of the year. I'm just saying.
No, whoa.
Well, yeah, just caught yourself. You just realized.
I did. All right, so looking forward to game 2, man. I mean, what do you expect? To me, it's like with the Thunder, it's different than when it was with the Knicks because I do think that going into this series, both of you and I, our brains were saying, well, the Pacers are the better team. I think going into this series, our brains are saying, well, the Thunder are the better team. So it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, do we just do what we did last game? like, because now the Pacers are going to make adjustments to whatever the Thunder were doing this game, and they're going to come out, a different team than they were at the start of this game. So you're going to be reacting to the Pacers adjustments, and you're down 0-1. It's one of those things where it's kind of weird how that dynamic's going to work. But I mean, I still expect the Thunder to come out. I expect them to take care of business on their home floor. I can't see them going 0-2 against Indiana. This team has not lost consecutive games all year.
Yeah.
But man, this is why we said, Kwab, can we actually not yet. Don't even want to get it.
Well, I was gonna say this. Yeah, I don't envision the Thunder losing the next game just because of how consistent they've been and not losing 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to put anything past the Pacers. That's
it's just an unbelievable, unbelievable grit. Just some of the best we've ever seen. At this point, it's some of the best we've ever seen. There have been games, and there have been teams that don't fight. I mean, that don't die, or that have miraculous comebacks. But to do every round, they had one against the Bucks, they had one against the Cavs, they had one against the Knicks, and now they have one in the finals against the Thunder.
Like it's been ridiculous. So
it's insane. There's no words.
There's no words. But if the Pacers come out with the right mindset next game, they have a chance of winning and being up 2-0, which they should try. But I feel like the Thunder, because like you said, we both feel like the Thunder are the better team.
Yeah.
Just not with 1 minute left and the ball is in Haliburton's hands. So
it's crazy.
That's usually the case.
I mean, they found success, bringing Miles Turner out for the pick and roll. SGA was splitting all day, just getting in between. They didn't have a lot of success doing that. If I'm a Pacer fan, I'm kind of worried about how, I won't say easy SGA's buckets were, but he seemed to get whatever he wanted. Jalen Williams struggled. It's just weird to kind of talk about the Thunder and be like, this is what you need to do, because for most of the game you look like the better team. So what can I possibly? Obviously, I think you need to capitalize off these turnovers. Again, Indiana played good transition defense to limit some of that. Got to hit open shots.
Need a better
on these
Jalen
offensive
Williams
rebounds. On the offense, they got a lot of offensive rebounds in the first quarter. I think they kind of cut that out after a while. Yeah, Indiana ended up out rebounding the offensive glass 13-10. They didn't really get a lot of second chance points. 14 steals to 1, Kwab, and you still
lost. You did everything you were supposed to do except close it out.
That is,
I think that
I am crazy. I
yeah,
cannot.
because you don't know what else to say. I think that if the Thunder next game, if they're able to get a big lead, they have to make sure to sustain it. They need a better Jalen Williams game, like just their best when they get consistent play from Jalen, also from Chet. So you're gonna need that. That's gonna factor into it. So, like you said, they did everything they're supposed to do. So I was gonna say on the Pacers side, but like, I don't know what to say what the Pacers should do because I want to say like, hey,
They
just
got to
go.
find a way to get into the paint.
They
Is
have
what-
the
yeah.
Pacers need to find a way to be down by
Honestly,
15 again, so they come back. That's what.
If I'm Indiana, I'm working inside out. A lot of their
Yeah.
offense is pick and roll, high pick and roll up top, working the roll around the perimeter, and they're not getting a lot of paint touches. I think you have to run through Siakam. I really do. I think when you get him in the post, have him make decisions based off how they're guarding him and work inside out because the outside in is not going to work with this perimeter defense. Now, obviously, you got what you wanted. At the end of the game with a lot of threes falling your way. The corner three specifically was open
Yes,
all
game.
second half
Yeah.
for the Pacers there. So, maybe they found something there. But for me, if I'm Rick Carlisle, instead of trying, working this pick and roll or whatever at the top of the key with Haliburton and Nimhard, and you didn't see too much success penetrating into the paint, I think I would work through Siakam or, they do these things sometimes where they start their offense like where the screen's at half court and Tyrese is coming downhill and has momentum. But those are the two things that I would probably make adjustments on just to kind of like break that front line of the OKC Thunder. And for the Thunder side, man, it's just kind of like just finish. You got to you were the better team today. Finish.
Yeah.
But these guys are just. I've never seen a team like this. It's unbelievable. It actually makes me feel better as a Knicks fan watching this happen because it's like they did it to everybody, bro. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. To do it on the biggest stage is amazing.
It's insane. All right, well, listen, that's going to do it for our recap. The Pacers beat the Thunder 111-110 to take a 1-0 series lead in the NBA Finals. We told y'all this was going to be a good finals, and we told y'all it was going to be competitive.
Yep. Watch games. Watch the games, man. Watch the games. This is a fun. These are two fun teams, man. And these games, that's a great game one. That's amazing.
It's fantastic. You can follow Dime at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab AKS. We will see you Sunday for a Game 2 recap. Holy crap.